So we are mindfulness 24 by 7. We are studying we are studying and reflecting on this text. It has 15 chapters. So we are studying the sixth chapter to understand what exactly the mindfulness brings to us. So both are required, knowledge and the practice. But if one is the higher level of a seeker, then only understanding is required. This is what the master says. So he starts with a metaphor of which you are aware, that painting on the canvas in four stages. So what he does that in the first 18 or 19 verses, he summarizes the entire journey. But still the doubt remains. So then he goes on explaining in detail each and every aspect of the journey of the mindfulness that results into awakening. So take it first 18 or 19 verses, and detailed explanation follows in more than 230 verses. So when we say the mindfulness 24 by 7, it means I'm not making an effort. There is no effort required. There is no action required. I'm aware. So that is where he starts with the four stages of the metaphor that painted. The first is already we know, the pure white cloth canvas equated with the pure consciousness. The second is second is the causal state. And third is what we say the subtle mind, where the the painter visualizes in his mind, well, what I have to, how I have to create that sketch. So he creates a sketch, and in the fourth stage, we see the entire painting with a mountain and rivers, plus lot of people and other living beings. So what the master is saying that canvas remains the same. And I have already given the example. Canvas remains the same means the TV screen is the same. You can run horror movies, you can run any program, soap opera, but the TV screen remains the same. We forget the TV screen. We get so much absorbed on the movie. And then that creates lot of experiences in in our daily life. So master is saying that let us take the three aspects of this metaphor. First is the pure consciousness, second is the reflected consciousness. So what is reflected consciousness? It is the mind. Mind is like a moon. It borrows the consciousness and creates its own entity. And the world is present, the entire world of people, place, objects, and the things are present on the mind, on the reflected consciousness, not on the canvas, not on the pure consciousness. Did you get it? Say yes. We have been doing it, for so many weeks. Then I picked up another thing. I am conscious of David, I'm conscious of Sam, or I can say, I know David, I know Jerry, I know Webber. It means what? I'm conscious of David, Jerry, Sam, anesthesia. So I'm conscious. So when I'm conscious of you all and the world outside, it means I'm consciousness. Hold on. When you say that I am conscious of and I'm consciousness, then who are you that is conscious? Are you getting it? Who are you that is consciousness? If I say I am conscious of you all, and then I declare that I'm consciousness, so hold on for a minute, and then who you are, that is conscious. And I stop, I look back, I step back. What I see, that I'm the pure consciousness. That is the entire journey. Because I want to explain myself with reference to the world outside, and that creates a delusion. Another way to see that I am conscious, that I am conscious is common, that never changes. The people changes, the world changes, the events and the things and the objects all are changing all the time. But I am conscious never changes. So I'm conscious that never changes. It means I'm consciousness. And what is constantly changing is the people, place, color, form. Keep that in your mind. So we will again explain through the metaphor. So I'm conscious is common, and then I'm consciousness, but I'm conscious of so many things that is constantly changing. Who is this I who says I am conscious? Who is this I who says I am conscious? From where? This I thought comes. From where this I thought comes. So the master of this text explains the way the sun reflects in the water. Pay attention. Water is the medium, and I see the sun in the water. So here the water is the mind is the medium, pure consciousness reflects there, and that creates a I thought. I thought now is a reality, and then it says I'm conscious. Did you get it? If I'm conscious, one thing, and I'm consciousness is another. So in the metaphor, according to the metaphor, that white can everything is happening on the white canvas, everything is happening on the pure consciousness. But we take it with an I thought, with a borrowed consciousness, and I create my own entity that here I am, there you are. If I am conscious, one thing, I am consciousness, who knows? Buddha was passing through a village. One person asked, "Hey, are you an angel?" "No, I'm not." He crossed the street. Another guy, "Oh, are you a prince?" "No, I'm not a prince." This is what happens. You see that. So then, what are you? Buddha said, "I am awakened. I am conscious. I am father, I am mother, I am son and daughter." Now, can you differentiate with I am conscious? Conscious has no shape and name. We forget it. It can only happen by understanding It can only happen by the knowledge, and how the knowledge can be gained are the three steps. I don't know, let me know it. I don't, I do not understand, let me understand it. And remove all the doubts. We are there. Go back to the metaphor again. So, this I thought creates a sense of an individual. Individual is not there. It creates an idea in the mind that I'm an individual. Because in the mind there is an I thought, and the mind is a reflected consciousness. So it creates an idea that I'm an individual. Well, I told you, reflected sun, medium is the mind. So in that medium mind says I thought, so I'm conscious. The medium creates the word also, and then says, here is David, here I am. So I'm dividing, I'm perceiving. In fact, there is no division. That division is present in my mind, not in the pure consciousness. I'm repeating again and again. It is not present. That division is not present in the pure consciousness. So that pure consciousness, that sun reflected in the water is the mind, and then that reflection creates an I thought. The moment I create an I thought, then there is you also. So I divided the entire world. That is what the painting is. So then I say painting, in the painting, here you are, here I am, here that person is, here is a river, here is a mountain. This is now, see that. Oh, there is a wall. I'm sitting in a room. Here I'm giving a lesson, I'm talking. There's a TV in the mirrors. But fact is that it is all happening in the mind. And the mind is only the medium. And it borrows the consciousness from the pure consciousness. There is no I thought. That is why this I thought is known as the ego. Ego does not exist. Let us make a little more deeper. So let us see who is this I. Who is this I? The word I is a mixture of real self, that is pure consciousness, and the reflected consciousness. We have to contemplate every day. Contemplate every day. I hate you. It comes from the mind. I and you are one. It comes from the pure consciousness. I love you at the physical level, attachment. It comes from the mind. I love you. You express the same word, same language. So that I love you, that love is existence. That I is only pure love. I is not an attachment. So what I said, the word I is a mixture of, or you can say it is a mixture of consciousness plus the idea in the mind that I exist. I am an individual. Did you get it? So, why attention goes to the mind? Why attention goes to the horror movies, not on the TV screen, of which we lose awareness that it is not at all moving. Nothing is moving. Everything is still. Everything is still. Nothing is happening on the TV screen. But everything is happening in the mind. So the mind claims, here I am, here you are. The mind divides and perceives. That creates a delusion. An individual is on the mind, not on the pure consciousness. Different paintings of the objects and people are on the mind of a painter. I'm comparing. So now come little deeper, go little deeper. So we have understood the white canvas is there, that is equated with the pure consciousness. So let me pick up the third, the subtle mind, where the I thought is created, and then that is the mind. So the painter has a sketching idea, then he paints, and that painting is nothing but the world outside. This painting, this is just a painting. When I see that you are different from me, I'm different from you. Even this is painting when I claim that I am teaching and you are listening. When there is only one consciousness, where is the teaching and where is the giving and receiving? But we have to keep that difference in order to learn until we reach there. Once we reach there, that difference is gone. So we have one more doubt. You see that we have to remove the doubt. Who is this painter? Who is this painter? So we see in a metaphor that the subtle body, that is the mind, creates his sketches, then he paints millions of objects, non-living beings, living beings, animal kingdom, plant kingdom, people is there on the painting. So I asked you a question that when he paints a person's in the painting person clothes that may be red in color or blue in color. So whether he is painting on the original white canvas or he creates a virtual area, virtual cloth on which he paints. And the answer is he is painting on a virtual cloth that does not exist. And that virtual cloth is the mind. Right. Can you find the mind in the body? Find it. It is on the virtual. Wave to the water. Wave do not exist. The water is. The blueness of the sky do not exist, but it appears. So in the mind of a painter, that virtual cloth appears. So he paints a Stephen he paints Sam, he paints anesthesia. He is painting on the virtual cloth. Mind creates an idea, this much area. But fact is that behind that, it is only an pure consciousness. How an individual is created, that is what we are. So once you have understood this, virtual cloth resembles or appear real. We see the clothes we are wearing in the painting appears real, but fact is that it is only a canvas. It is only a pure consciousness. So it appears real, but it is not. That is what we have been understanding the definition of a delusion. Wave appears, but fact is it is water. The blueness of the sky appears, but fact is that it is not. We are the different waves only on one consciousness. One way, we are different waves on the one consciousness. So there two things happens. First, virtual cloth resemble or appear real. We are all there on a painting. If you Just think that we all are there in the painting. So virtual cloth resemble or appears real. We see the clothes we are wearing appears real, but it is not. Second is that the mind is reflected consciousness, resembles or appear as a real consciousness. Come on, I'm conscious of you. It is real. So I forget in the background. That mind borrows the consciousness, then only it claims that I am conscious. Are you understanding that? Mind borrows the consciousness, then only it claims I am consciousness. We forget this point and we say, okay, mind is reflected consciousness that appears as the real. Now I see you don't agree with me, you are opposing me. It is the mind. Two problems appear. What is not true that appears real, that appears. Then what happens? The mind creates the I thought, and from the I thought, it creates an individual. It says, I'm an individual, and then it creates the entire world. We will talk later, but I'm just pointing you out. Buddha says that it is the mind that creates your own world. In deep sleep, world is not there. So he gives that example. If the mind is not there, the world is not there. Mind is not there, you are not in stress. You're not attached. You don't have an emotional dependence. See, no, just giving you, whenever you are in stress or anxiety, you tell your mind, no, I do not belong to you. Hold on. But for that, we need to be a seeker. So what do you mean to say? I thought I have been living with an idea and understanding that I'm an individual, but I'm not. It is only an I thought. It is only a mind is a medium on which I thought appears, and I see I'm an individual. Then who am I? I'm pure consciousness. That is why this metaphor. A lot of people, a lot of paintings, but everything is on one. We exist as one pure consciousness. We do not exist as an individual, but because of the medium, that is the mind, that is the reflected consciousness that creates an I thought. First, it creates an I thought, and then I thought creates being an individual, and then I'm an individual, you are different from me, and ultimately we fall back into ignorance. We have to remove that ignorance. That's what our masters have been talking about. So that mind, which is a reflected consciousness, first it has an I thought, it creates an individual in appearance. It creates an individual as an appearance here, as an appearance there, as a Sam, as a Stephen. Just think, be very clear. Paint that picture in your mind and see what is there. It creates an individual in appearance. David, Jerry, Webb, Anastasia, Stephen. Like mirror reflects the images. Good. So, Ashok, are you with me? Yes. Yes. So now we go a little deeper. We today we are understanding that who is that painter? Who is that painter? Once we understand who is that painter, the first thing, the individual is not there. We consider I'm an individual. We take it, being an individual is a real. So now we go back to the metaphor. The painted cloths are created at the will of a painter. Clear. There is a will, and then he sketches, I have to create the picture of a Stephen, and then he paints that cloth. Tomorrow, today, he created a picture of the Stephen. Tomorrow, he may change them to another color. He put another cloth, another design, another. So it really fluctuates at the will of the painter. Let me put it again. I thought says, let me wear this shirt today. It may be of different color, white, black, or different shape. Who is changing this? I thought. Who is the painter in me? It is the will, it is the karma. It is only the I thought says, I am stressed, I should get rid of the stress. It is only an action. I am sick, I am crazy, I am healthy, I am good, I am son, I am father, I am daughter. Everything is happening with the I thought, with the will in it. What is that will? That will is the karma. There begins the journey of the law of karma. People, talk a lot about it with a little understanding. In the same way that reflected consciousness or the mind or the subtle body first creates an I thought, then it creates an individual. It feels that I'm an individual, and then let me change. Individual says I am stressed, so I should be free from the stress. So the painter is really my own karma, my own action, my own thought. There is, as such, it is not an individual. When I say I'm an individual, my karma shaped me, my desire, effort, karma cycle begins, the law of karma begins. I am the painter of my individual life. We have to contemplate and reflect again and again and again. Then it becomes clear. So each so-called each individual is shaped and painted according to the karma, according to the action that I take every day. I take action consciously or I take action subconsciously, habitually, impulsively. So the law of karma is at work. What a great metaphor to explain our entire life. I thought many labels. I thought many labels. Who are you? I'm a teacher. At the will. It is a karma, it is a thought. Then I change my label, I'm stressed. Then I change my label, I'm father, I'm mother, I'm son, I'm some daughter, I'm honey, I'm good, I'm bad, I'm rich and I'm poor. Law of karma is at work. I thought many labels, changing labels by karma or action. And I perceive the outer situation also through the same mind. I'm in US. Really? You are in Ukraine. Really? I thought says I am, then here is my situation. I thought says favorable, unfavorable. It is all the part of the law of karma. Nothing more than that. I thought. Law of karma, and that law of karma continues in our life because we believe the majority in the society. I believe my parents, the way they live their life. So I live in ignorance. I don't realize that this is the law of karma going on at the subtler level in my subtle mind. It has nothing to do with the pure consciousness. The pure consciousness never changes, it is everlasting, it is eternal, it is all pervading. And I fall into illusion. And once I fall into delusion or illusion, then I feel that I am stressed and I start working to get rid of the stress. That I thought. Are you clear? That I thought. That I thought. Reflected consciousness divides and perceives. It disintegrates the family, society, the nation. Your I thought is different from my I thought. What a funny way to put it. It is the same I thought which says I'm different from you. But from the point of view, I'm conscious. You are also conscious. I'm also conscious. That is a common factor. But I don't see that common factor. I see what divides and perceives me. What is your age? What is my age? What is your gender? My gender. Which country you belong to? You see? See the way, the moment you have an I thought, I always look outside. I don't see inside. But everything comes from I am conscious. Find out. First I'm conscious, then only I say. That I thought divides and perceives, disintegrates our family, society, and the nation. Your I thought is different from my I thought. Huh? What a fun. My I thought today says I am in stress. Remove the I thought first. Then check where is your stress. Same I thought it was happy yesterday. Next moment it is unhappy. I become many. So I divide myself, I disintegrate myself. This is what is happening. And behind this, we have understood a bit of the law of karma. We will go ahead. The mind is caught in the dualities. First, it creates an I thought, then there must be a you thought. And then the life continues with that duality. First, there is an ignorance. I don't know myself. I claim I am an individual. So you are different from me. So the dualities. So when we live with that dualities, there are some likes and dislikes, favorable and unfavorable. So when I continue to live with being favorable and unfavorable, it creates an attachment and detachment. So when there is attachment and detachment, it creates a desire. So desire prompts me to action. I go back to the law of karma. I create another cycle. So I have created millions of cycles in my life. That is why we say, I'm busy. Just after this session, I have to do this second cycle. Now I have to settle my score with my honey, third cycle. And long list of cycles. The mind never takes rest. That is what we say the ignorance. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed, being just simple. Even when I say eyes are closed, we are in a non-practice mode. Non-practice mode means that we explore, we understand, being comfortable. So I thought experience the comfort. Now see the way I go back. I thought says I'm comfortable. But that comfort and I comfort is another thought. Look at it. So the mind has divided. Mind divides and perceives. What is mind is a reflected consciousness from where it receives the reflection from the pure consciousness. So I'm conscious of being comfortable. Oh, how easy it is. As such, there is no I individual. As such, there is an I which is only pure consciousness. I told you that I is a mixture of the real self and the reflected consciousness. That is why it is extremely difficult for others to check, to realize whether the other person is awakened or not. Unless you are awakened, then only you can realize. Oh, we're not going into the process, being carefree. So I explain being carefree means free from all the cares that this mind does. There are a lot of thoughts, they come and go, uninvited, unwelcome thoughts come and go. And the mind is an observer only. The mind is only the observer means what? Mind is the knower. Mind is the seer of all the thoughts that are coming and going. It does not impose its individuality on these thoughts, feelings, sensations. I believe you have understood this. When the I thought acts as a doer and the experiencer, then it will try to control all these thoughts. I'm simply a knower. So in the beginning, we say, mind, act, and behave like a knower. Why? Pure consciousness is knowledge. It is only a seer and the knower. It is the existence. Can I say we don't work on the reflection of the mind as an entity? We say you are only a reflection. So unwelcome. Now you see who says welcome and unwelcome mind. Why it says because of law of karma. I just explained. Oh, you see, when you are aware, you know the cause. This thought is coming because mind has a corresponding impression present in the mind. I used to say that if you are a Christian, you will always see Jesus. If one is Hindu, one is always love to see the Krishna, and so on. So there is a corresponding emotion since our childhood. What it means? Any thought is coming, so you don't create a law of karma by saying it is favorable and unfavorable. You are simply a knower, an observer. Thoughts are coming, thoughts are staying, thoughts are going, thoughts are leaving. You are just aware. You're just aware that I thought in the mind. Now, do not become the doer or the experiencer. It is simply the knower, seer, observer. What happens the moment you are a knower? The mind does not start, it stops working on this law of karma. Then what happens? Your body is naturally steady. You feel the sense of the calmness here and now. I'm stretching a bit so that we understand it clearly. So we are, oh, the sense of calmness, sense of relaxation, because millions of impressions of doer and the experiencer has been dropped. You're only in one. That is why you experience the sensation, relaxation, and calmness in the physical body. There is no other reason. My friends, so through our knowledge and awareness, we break the limitation caused by the mind. That limitedness is nothing but the I thought. We say just be aware of the physical body. Okay. So, how we are aware of the physical body because there is a space all around. You simply knowing, you are a knower. I'm conscious of this physical body. Good. I'm conscious of the physical body and the space all around. You're simply knowing what normally the I thought limits itself, creates an individuality, and do not see what is already present. That is where we are going. Sometimes we, oh, you don't see? Here is our friend because the mind has gone somewhere. That is what I'm talking about. So I'm conscious of the body, physical body. I'm conscious of the space all around the body. You're conscious, you're aware. You're doing nothing. I'm conscious of the space in the room. Mind limits. We are breaking that limitation. So I'm conscious of the space in the room. I'm conscious of the space outside the room. I'm conscious of the space in the community where I'm living. You have broken another limitation. So I'm conscious of the county or the district where I'm living. It's all about your awareness. I'm conscious of the state or the space of the state. You see, as you move to the greater space, that county dissolves by itself. Really? Yes. Ah. So if you keep your attachment with the body doesn't dissolve. So go on moving from the state to the country, to the continent, to the earth planet, to the solar system, to the galaxy. Fact is this: I am conscious of the all pervading space. This is the fact. For the mind, what is the fact? It is a deluded fact that I am the body, that I'm living. There is a space all around my body, confined by the room, confined by the town, confined by this community, and a long list. It is okay when we live our transactional life. See, it's such a simple knowing the fact. The way the county or the district is a limited, it's a virtual limitation. You cannot divide the space. I'm conscious of the body, hence I am here. I am conscious of the body is okay, but I am the body is a delusion. So I'm conscious of the space that stretches to the infinity, space all around. So one master beautifully says, and it is a fact, the space is awareness and awareness is space. That space belongs to the consciousness. There is one space belongs to the mind. How to recognize? The moment you find a limited space, it is the my thought. It cannot be done by any practice. It has to be done by understanding, by knowledge. It is not a practice. The moment the mind, I thought, limits me, I recognize it cannot be limited. How do you recognize the moment the horror movies is going on in your television? You become aware the TV screen remains the same. It has to be known in the mind. Same mind where the problem lies. Who has created the problem? The mind, the reflected consciousness here. I thought as an individual. That's why the master says that it's not a practice. The mindfulness is just to know the reality. Science says there is nothing like solid. The atoms in the matter is very close to each other. It appears as solid. Little far, it appears as liquid. Too far appears as a gas or air. Air is invisible, doesn't mean that air does not exist. Consciousness is invisible through the mind. It doesn't mean that it is not. That is one of the greatest challenges our mind faces. Now, I will only believe if I see it. You cannot see the consciousness. You cannot see the gases. There. So, sitting and contemplating, look at this body, physical body. I see the shape and the size. And here we use the knowledge of the science. Body is made up of protein, carbohydrate, fat. Okay, what is this protein? It's all matter: carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen. Four elements. So find out the cause. Okay, so my eyes has a protein, carbs, fat. Yes. What are the elements? What are these elements? Matter. What is this matter? Electron, proton, and neutron. What are these particles? They also behave as an energy. Electron moves. If there is no space, it cannot move. If there is no space, there is no energy. Protein belongs to the protein. It does not belong to me, but I say that this is, I am the body, and so I am an individual. That is the delusion. But why it happens? Because of the law of karma. This master has given one reason in this verse as we proceed. We'll go deeper. I am conscious of you. This is a thought. Thought is equal to I thought plus you. Look clearly, see clearly. I am conscious of Stephen means this is a thought. This I'm conscious of Stephen, that thought is equal to I thought plus Stephen. I am conscious. Don't add off. I am conscious is equal to I am plus consciousness. Or I am conscious means I thought plus consciousness. So in our mind, that I thought drops and dissolves. What remains is the consciousness. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. How are you, Ashok?
Good sir, namaste sir.
Refreshed totally?
Yes sir.
Very good. Good.
Peaceful.
How are you, Stephen?
Good. Very good. Lot of contemplating within that whole lesson, of this basically separation of pure consciousness and reflective consciousness, and understanding, or and maybe this is kind of a question and a statement at the same time, is that so pure consciousness would be a infinite space of
White
where
canvas.
it's just a white canvas, and that's where we find the love, the happiness, truth, wisdom, peace,
Yeah.
and then everything else is reflective, and it's just for us, we have to really look at things that things are as they are, and it's our interpretations, our perceptions that we allow our minds to interpret the situation that really isn't true.
Isn't true. That is why we say we talk a lot about ego, and ego is nothing but an I thought. And that I thought is a reflection from where? In the medium that is the mind.
Good.
So
All right.
when yes, that is where the problem arises. We divide ourselves, we perceive, and then we continue to divide and perceive. It creates a chain reaction. That is actually the painter in me. Favorable, unfavorable, likes and dislikes. I am stress is basically fundamentally a delusion. I am enjoying a pleasure of anything, any object. That fact is that it is a pleasure. I enjoy the pleasure. For example, the mouse. The mouse does not contain a pleasure. Does the mouse contain a pleasure? No. Then replace the mouse with anything, any object. There is no pleasure at all. But the I thought says no. No, no. First, I'm in stress. Let me go to a doctor. No, no. One should go to a doctor. I'm just not to be sued here. How are you, Jerry? And
Uh, that was really good. Thank you. Um, the consciousness was almost like had a hammer hammering at any thought or anything that tried to get near the canvas. It just pushed it away. And consequently, I had extremely deep meditation. And when you started to chant, that I was like, we just started. So it was really, really fast and deep.
beautiful. You give any kind of an expression. Once we understand the principle, you see, I see a calm ocean. I'm comparing David's example. And suddenly I see the wave. It rises, it falls, and again the calmness. It rises, falls. Again, there is a calmness. So, what happens with the mind, the reflected consciousness, as Stephen was saying, we get absorbed into the waves. We don't see what lies underneath. How are you, Jerry?
I'm good, thank you. Yes, very deep, went by very fast, and you know, I think when the mind's bottled with the consciousness, then it knows what's not changing, and then the reflective consciousness, everything is changing. So the mind that's bottled with the consciousness doesn't get involved with that.
You're right, perfectly right. That another, after 18 verses, we were on 8th verse. The first 18 verses, this master summarizes the whole teaching. And in this chapter, then we have more than 230 verses. He explains each and every detail. Just know it. Just know it. And you understand it. You feel that, I'm just a consciousness. I'm just a pure consciousness. So that's how you pointed out a wonderful Hey, so how are you, Samir? Then we will go to Samir, Sam, Stephen, a lot of people with the S. Yeah, yeah,
For last 1 or 2 sessions,
yeah.
one thing is struck in my mind. There was a quote by Guru Nanak Dev Ji that अव्वल अल्लाह नूर उपाया कुदरत के सब बंदे एक नूर से सब जग उपजा कौन भले कौन मंदे. So everyone is the product of this real self. Or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Guru Nanak, he was saying Guru Nanak was another great master who lived, who establishes the religion Sikhism. You might be aware. Sikhism with the long turban and long hairs. So he is saying that everyone who feels as an individual is a product of the same consciousness. It is the same consciousness. No, but I see that, oh, no, you are old, I'm young. Then we see the gender differentiation, and that differentiation never comes to an end. Out of that differentiation, oh, Bill Gates is so rich, so I have also to be. You see the differentiation, the law of karma? Law of karma continues in my head. That is the problem. But there is no problem with the Sam. How are you, Sam?
Good. All there was blank space, heard your voice, and got very cold.
Yeah. Cold is at the physical level.
Yeah.
It indicates an expansion, and it's good. So the moment any thought, ask. We should ask ourselves, who disturbs me? No, I have a lot of stress. This is the thought first. Then you have a stress. Think. It's not a big deal. No, I had a lot of pleasure. First, there is a thought. No, what you're saying. First, there are sensation. Okay, let the sensation remain as a sensation. Don't convert that into a thought. What will happen? What will happen? Anesthesia, how are you?
Thank you. I am glad to be back. It was a wonderful lesson, and during the meditation, I was very deep in the space, dark space, just concentrated on your words, and it felt very warm and easy and peaceful. My mind, time to time, it looked to me as if I moved. Probably, I don't know, but it was a feeling like I did some slightly movement. Yeah, because I think it's like a prevention of my mind to go deeper, or maybe I don't know. And may I have a question?
Yeah.
About law of karma. So if, for example, an individual wants to change his life or destiny and does it because of desire and any type of desire, and tries doing something, so he creates another cycle of karma. But is there one big cycle for everybody? I don't know, or something like karma for people of region or the country or the world? And I mean, do we really change something, or are these changes also written in this law?
At a very primary level, those who are not seekers So our traditional Eastern wisdom guides you have to do lot of practices, do charity, go to the religious place, serve people so that you accumulate good karma. The good karma gives you a favorable circumstances. And even in Kundalini meditation, those who get carried away and they suffer a lot later. But here what we are talking, where is the goal? Drop being an individual. You have already understood there is no individual. So when there is no individual, there is no law of karma. Law of karma doesn't apply to me. When I'm not an individual. So then you drop everything. And when you drop everything, the law of karma also drops. Then you are working, you are acting, you are living your life, and still you do not accumulate the karma. That is the meaning of awakening. That is the meaning of self-realization. Like a Hollywood actor who acts like a criminal. And then he returns home and knocks the door. Come on, I'm a criminal. His wife is not scared. Come on. That happens. Just imagine, just think and expand your mind. How are you, Vaibhav?
Sir, I'm good. It was very peaceful. And one thing, like, just I realized that this thing that you are saying, that when these sensations happen in the body, I name them to something, and then I get stuck into that loop that it is a stress or it is something. If I don't bother about them, it will go away and it will do not make any impact to me.
Yeah, sure. You're right. You're right. You know, you're listening to me. This is also a sensation. Come on. It is not more than the sensation. That is why we say five sense organs of knowledge. Senses of knowledge. Sense organs. Well, then the I thought comes. I thought this is a sound. This is, the sight. This is touch, smell, and this. All are sensations. One sensation is stress, other sensation is craziness, third sensation is laziness, fourth, you pick up. So hold on, say to your mind, hold on, let me see, let me see, let me see. Because the moment I create a thought, I have created an individual. You see? That we will take up in, in the higher journey. That is all. Thank you very much. I have one more.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
Namaste.
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 Thank you.
I like your shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Same painting on the canvas.
See ya.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Manage recording, stop recording.